happy to have you guys back in here again, right? Because this is what we planned. We were like, got to bring you guys back.
Yeah.
This is perfect.
But I wanted to really just lead off with when we left off. You were on your way to nationals for spearfishing in a lake in Arizona.
Yep.
Right? And you won.
I did.
Yay. Congratulations.
That was the plan.
Awesome. And this is your back-to-back win.
Yes.
Right? And which qualifies you for the national team to compete in Spain in 2023. You're on now the international team.
The world's team.
Yeah, the
is
world's
what we call
team.
it.
The world's
yes.
team? All
yes.
right. So, yeah, proper terminology. Awesome. So, first, all right, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Like we sent you off and then you came back a winner, and it's awesome and it's cool. So, and Chiefy, you're back with us. So thank you for swinging by, and you know, we're going to get into a few things today. We're definitely going to talk about everything, Julie, that you have going on. So I am with Chiefy and Julie Higgs here again today on the Connected by Water podcast, powered by Joey Cardi, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, and fueled by our good friends at Papa's Pilar Rum. Remind you never to be a spectator. So it's on autopilot now at this point. So tell me, in your words, when you went fishing in the lake, about your experience.
So every tournament we do, we look forward to seeing familiar faces. There's some people I only see at tournaments. And just good time doing what we love with people who enjoy competing. And I have the same partner, Javier, that I had for the first nationals. We figured since we won as mixed team, might as well stick together and do it again. And since we were both unfamiliar with the area, we had to make some decisions on if we were going to try to find a local person to captain for us, if we were going to rent a boat and try to navigate on our own. And we decided to invest in a charter. And I picked the number one guy on Google. And
deep strategies here on the Connected by Water podcast.
Yeah, so Lake Powell Charter Service.
Okay.
And I reached out to this guy and we talked, and I was like, I'm going to make a few more phone calls and I'll call you back. And we ended up going with him, and he was amazing. We were so happy that we invested in him because it made it so all we had to worry about was competing. We didn't have to worry about learning to navigate, having to figure out where Utah was or where Arizona was, because if you're in the wrong area the wrong day, you could be disqualified.
Oh, it splits the line? Oh, wow.
He's a charter guy out there every single day, so he knows where the fish are, why they're there, what time of day, what species, everything. We didn't have to think. We scouted for 2 days, so we had a pretty good idea of what we were looking for. And tournament day, we just had a really good time. We put the work in and we did well.
And were there others that spearfish in that lake all the time, competing in this?
There are several tournaments that are held in that lake, and a lot of people in this tournament had competed in the past, and we talked to them and they gave us some advice. And yeah, it's a pretty common thing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, and you only fished this lake how many times? Just that one time? That was the first time? And you won.
Yeah.
and I don't think you do a lot of freshwater spearfishing.
No, it was only my second time ever doing freshwater. So first time in that lake, but second time ever doing freshwater.
Is that harder for you because the buoyancy stuff is different, or is it really a non-factor?
It's just something you got to be aware of. We actually went to a pool and tried on a 7mm wetsuit because we knew it was going to be cold.
Okay.
And figured out about how much weight we had to bring with us. And then, you pack a little extra just in case you're wrong, but you definitely are not as buoyant, and which is nice. I think it actually makes it easier. You're not fighting that buoyancy going down over and over again.
Right.
So I wouldn't say it makes it harder, but it's something that you need to be aware of.
Right.
And there's different fish.
Yeah. So go over the fish again that you were catching.
So it was a 2-day tournament, and there was they called it like a trash day and a game fish day, and the trash fish day was striper and carp. And the reason that was trash fish in that lake is there's an overpopulation of those fish and they're not supposed to be there. And the lake is basically unhealthy because of the numbers of those fish. So us spearfishing those fish actually helps the lake out. So there's no limits on that fish. You can shoot as many as you want, catch as many as you want. Our charter captain,
they want them out of there.
Yeah, their
base is like the lionfish.
They actually said any striper they catch, they are supposed to kill it and put it back in the water to help feed the lake because the lake is starving.
Really?
So yeah. So those were considered the trash fish, and then the game fish. Striper was also on the game fish day, but striper, catfish, and walleye was the game fish day.
Awesome. Striper, catfish, and walleye.
Mm-hmm.
Good job. Yeah, nice. Awesome. So now you've gone back to back at nationals, right? And you qualify for worlds. So now you're on the international team, and you're going to be in Spain in September.
Yes.
And you're on like a journey now to get there, right?
Yep.
So explain that to me, like what you're going through right now, because I mean, unfortunately, we didn't get to meet up at ICAST, but we knew we were both there, and you were going around, trying to raise some support and everything for the whole venture, which you definitely should be getting support for this.
Right.
So explain to me what you have to go through now. Is there a training aspect to what you have to do? I mean, what's your team look like now? I mean, is it different than what you're used to fishing? All the above. Like, fill me in.
So there's 4 of us on the team. There's the 3 main competitors and alternate. And the 3 main competitors, I already know them. The alternate, I met her at National. She's actually a native Hawaiian, which is pretty cool.
Cool.
But all of us are working together to raise money for the team. Mm-hmm. And the tournament is not until September 2023. So we're getting a good head start. But the more money we raise, the more options we have to compete. If we raise a lot of money, then we can pay for training in advance, like free dive courses, things like that. Mm-hmm. As far as the tournament, you have all of your regular travel expenses, and then there's days of scouting, which is the most important. Mm-hmm. So the more money we raise, the more time we can spend there, the more days of scouting. And scouting is how we find out which spots we're going to be using to compete in. So if you're a local, you've been fishing there your whole life, you already have spots. Mm-hmm. I'm traveling to Spain and don't have any spots. So we have to put the work and the time into diving, not shooting fish, just looking around. Is this a good spot? Yes or no? Next spot, next spot, next spot. And the more time we have to do that, that's renting a boat, that's renting a captain, that's putting a number in the GPS, the better we're going to do tournament day.
Yeah, that's awesome. So where is that being held? Like, specifically, is there a certain, it's not fresh. This one's salt, right?
Right.
Okay. So where is that?
Laredo, Spain.
Let me see. We got it there. Laredo, Spain.
Laredo, Spain.
Okay. September 7th through 10th in Laredo, Spain. So this is offshore.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So a little bit more your territory.
Yeah.
Somewhat. Even though it's like
in the ocean. It's in the ocean.
In the ocean, but it's like, at least it's on the other side of the world, but still, at least it's a little bit more your game, right?
From what I've been told, it's cold, dirty water, and hopefully not too deep. It's a good chance it's going to be mostly shore diving, like right up against the rocks.
Okay.
Type diving is what I've been told.
Okay. All right, gotcha. So for those of you that perhaps didn't see our first episode or listen to it, and are not familiar with who's in front of me, right? Julie Higgs is a 7-time, right? Right.
That's right.
World record holding, right?
Yes.
Okay. Spearfisher, right?
Right.
And 7 world records, and that's impressive in itself, like the IUSA world records. And you are what does this say? You are the 2018, what does this say? The second place women's team. I'm reading this wrong. Right.
That's just the history of the world team.
That's the history of the world
it's
team.
It's saying 2018, they were in Portugal and won first, and that was the first time women had ever competed in worlds. And in 2021, they were in Italy, and they got second.
Okay. All right. So that's the world. All right. So that's the world team. So, but you are back-to-back champion for the Nationals and the 7-time world record holding Julie Higgs. So
yes.
I just want to make that clear to the audience, right? And also here to my left side is Chiefy.
She knows Chiefy.
She knows Chiefy. She happens to know Chiefy, right? So Chiefy, Chiefy's awesome, right?
Thank you.
And since you've been on, that was the first time we met, was on the show, and we've become friends since.
Yeah.
And my life is better for having you in it,
Aw.
certainly.
Mine too.
Yeah, and thank you. And we wanted to come on also because we're smack dab in the middle of lobster season, or in between mini season and regular season starting. So what perfect time. And thank you for these guys for suggesting such a great episode. Like, they're both like, why don't you bring those guys back in, because now would be the perfect time. I'm like, you know what, genius, perfect. So here we are. We had mini season, right, and we're just in front of the season starting, right? And so take me through your adventures last week. How'd it go? And you wrote an article for the Pelican, which was really compelling. It was like Game Time. It was basically
Scouting.
like the premise behind
Scouting. That's
So-
that stick with the plan.
it. Right.
Scouting your spots.
Mhm.
Right now, we have a lot of spots. Right. The good part is primarily I dive Pompano, Deerfield, Boca. That's because I live in Deerfield, so I can go,
Mhm.
out at the Hillsborough Inlet or go out of the Boca Inlet. Now, Julie happened to be diving here too.
Oh, you were diving down here at the time?
Yeah.
Out of Lauderdale, yes.
Oh,
Lauderdale.
cool.
Yeah, she knows
It's
people.
poor lobster.
She knows people. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? They're
right.
not as good as the Chiefy crew.
Okay.
Okay, but
Mhm.
What's the crew up to now? How many numbers on the crew? Do you know?
Well, our crew was pretty big this time so that was part of like looking at the forecast for Wednesday,
Okay.
which was the first day of mini
It
season.
was a little rough out.
Well, the forecast was 4 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I love my boat, but 4 to 5 on a 29
Mhm.
is a little bumpy.
Yeah.
So we made the call of we'll go on the Relentless, the 39 Invincible, Steve
Mhm.
Siegel's boat, right? So we combined crews. Now we have 8 guys and a lot of gear.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it was. But our normal, we had scouted the week before, checked out various spots. I've got Lobster Island, had no lobster. Well, I don't think we can call it Lobster Island anymore if it doesn't have any lobster. But Lobster Rock had plenty of lobster.
Okay.
We have all these real technical
So you brought all
names.
your numbers with you, right? You brought all your coordinates with you. You're going to tell everyone what all your numbers are, like right here on the show.
We were close to Is this Pompano?
Yes.
Yeah,
this is
we're
Pompano.
right east of here. How about that? Is that good?
Yeah. All right.
And actually, it was Steve Siegel
Mm-hmm.
that put us on the first spot. And we all know this spot.
Okay.
For some reason, it's just holds them and refills back again. And so Steve and I at 6:15 and on Wednesday morning, the crack of dawn, we were in the water. It was dark, 30,
Mhm.
And Steve and I went on down, and then 2 of the other guys, Chuck and Andy, went on down. And I mean, our first go at it was pretty good. It was dark. Did you guys go dark
I think
first?
we got a later start.
Later start.
You did first light kind of thing?
Pretty much.
Well,
yeah.
The forecast was showing it settling down throughout the day, so there was really no rush.
It
to
actually
get out there.
got worse as the day went on.
That's not what the forecast said it was
I
going to
know.
do, though.
When we first got out there, it was 2 to 3. I'm going, hey, I could be out here in my boat.
Right.
But by 9 o'clock, it got ugly. It was 4 to 5.
Mhm.
And I don't think there was as many boats as I've seen in the past,
Mm-mm.
just because, when it's flat, if somebody has a piece of plywood, they're out there.
Right.
It's one of those kind of things.
Right.
And usually you get a lot of beach divers when it's really flat, too. If you were doing beach diving,
Yeah, that
this
wouldn't
mini-season,
have been smart. I don't
this
think.
was a struggle. This
Right.
was, it was bumpy.
It'd be
and,
tough even for boats to see, I think, in that kind of
Oh,
weather.
it's
Exactly.
super
Yeah.
dangerous. Mini
Yeah.
season.
Nonetheless, having to swim through it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, we make sure we have our flags and all that stuff and lights and stuff, but still, I mean, there's a chance you got to pay attention. Everybody's on their game.
Sure.
So, I mean, it was kind of fun because we got down there and it's dark and you got flashlights and the lobster are there and they're clustered together.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're just picking away at them. Steve and I, we've dove together a lot. So we kind of know, hey, I'll hold the flashlight, you grab that one, then you hold the flashlight and I'll grab that one, it's a type of thing. And we loaded up pretty well on the first dive. And then got back on the boat. The second dive, we went on up off of Deerfield and hit some shallow stuff. Everything was 35 foot, everything. And boy, they were there. Bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of good. This is actually the first year I took off in a while. I didn't do mini season this year. Workload and whatnot, and travel schedule and everything like that was getting the better of me.
Well, thank you, because that
gave
us
you,
more
right?
for us.
Yeah. I don't think I'm much of a threat to Chiefy, and Julie, but it's all good. It's all get my couple, and I'm happy. You know what I mean? And take them home and eat them.
But it was fun because there was 8 of us on the boat, and we got 12 apiece, so we got 96, which is the most lobster we've ever gotten combined. Ever, in all of our adventures. So that was a lot of fun. But Julie, we had Bug Fest at Lauderdale by the Sea Wednesday night, the chef competition. What'd you get? Top female?
In what? In cooking them?
No. This is a lobster tournament. There is a cooking portion as well, but
she didn't do the cooking thing.
You weigh in your lobster, and if you bring in, up to your 12, and you get raffle tickets. So it's a huge raffle event.
Right.
And cash money for winners.
and you won.
I did. I got top female lobster. So the biggest lobster brought in by a female, and second biggest. So second biggest lobster. So I ended up winning 2.
Really? Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's paying.
Again.
She's paying tonight. Okay.
Yeah. All right. No problem.
That's the deal. Okay.
Wow. I was supposed to go down. I know they did well down in Tavernier as well. Down at I was supposed to go down to my business partner Harris's house down there in Tavernier, and never made it down. But I know they did one of those, like, he texted me. He's like, "Oh, you should be here 90 by 8 a.m. or something like the whole group got."
This is probably a good time then to bust out the steamed lobster bites.
Okay.
With the cocktail sauce.
Sounds good.
All right. It's just a sample. You know what I mean? We just...
All right. So we're looking at these. This is fresh lobster that you caught, right? With some cocktail sauce.
Cocktail sauce.
And what's the recipe here? Who made the cocktail sauce?
By the way, this is Andy's recipe. I can't take credit for it.
Okay.
Andy's recipe, but you cooked it?
I did cook it, right. And
all right.
So steam it, one of those double pan steamer things, and you put a couple bay leaves and a couple salt.
That's delicious.
It's a little salt, okay? But you cook them in the shell, and about 15 minutes, so you make sure that they're cooked all the way through. Then you take them out, immediately put them on ice, let them chill down for 10, 15 minutes. Then use shears, open them up, cut them out, and chop it up. What's nice is it's basically a chilled, you can eat it anytime. And personally, Andy will take it out.
That's phenomenal, Chiefy.
I know. It's clean. It's got a clean taste to it.
You guys want some?
Yeah.
It is very good.
We're good.
It'll be gone after the podcast.
I don't think it's going to last here, guys. So, that's really, really great.
So I can't take credit for it. Andy's on the cover of Catching the Spirit of my book, and he used to work at Joe's Stone Crab.
Oh, we did.
Yeah. So that's our secret.
That makes a lot of sense.
That's our secret recipe. Okay.
That makes a lot of sense right now.
Here, pass that down to the boys, okay?
Yeah, give that a shot.
Yeah, I just like it because it's clean. It's really, you're getting the full effect of the spiny lobster.
Yeah.
And I like them better than the lobster.
Right.
Which is those ones
the main
from
ones,
New England.
Yep.
Because all they do is boil them.
I like our lobster.
Me too.
I really do. I like our lobster better when done right.
Oh, yeah. And that's the key.
Right.
I'll saute it. We'll bake it, broil it, whatever.
Yeah,
I
tastes
really,
good without being covered in butter.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
There you go.
Exactly.
How about it? So, so that was, and then day 2 for us was a little bit of a letdown. That was Thursday. We got a little later start. 8 o'clock, went on my boat, and we hit a couple spots, but there were actually more boats. So, the spots that we wanted to go, we were like, oh, doggone it,
Yeah.
And then the currents really weren't good for us. So we put in for a north current, and it was south. And we put in for a south current, it was north. It was just screwed us all up. We ended up with 61, potential of 72, which are max, but we were happy with that. But yeah, listen, it's not a bad 2 days, you know, a lot of fun.
Lobster season to me is always a very interesting time, because, you know, everyone gets all, you know, heated and amped up for it and everything, and it's just like this little 2-day thing, and you know, and then a week later is full season. And full season is a long time.
Oh yeah,
relatively speaking.
And that's what I tell people a lot of times. I said, if you don't get it done on mini season, hey, August 6th. Regular season.
Like it's on.
It's on. And it's 6 per person per day as opposed to 12, which is okay. But it's every day.
Every day.
Every day until March 31st.
Right. So it's really long. And I don't think a lot of people realize that. They get all jacked up. Oh, we can only, it's almost like they think it's like the American Red thing where we got to we can only catch them now.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, no, man, you got a while.
Exactly. And, and, you know, you have the ups and the downs, meaning, you know, they'll kind of wait. Sometimes you'll do okay. You're competing against the commercial guys. They have their traps in. But I mean, the reality is, you get like a little tropical storm come through.
Right.
Wow. Pay attention. Right.
Yeah, it stirs them up.
Oh, and they'll be in shallow. Literally, you'll walk off the beach and they'll be right there. And they'll be walking around. It's so cool.
Yeah.
To be able to do that, to catch a lobster.
Do you do that a lot after the tropical storms? You just go lobstering?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And everything's all stirred up. All the fish, because they have no idea what's coming and going.
Yeah.
And the lobstering is really good.
Right.
And so is the spearfishing. So, yeah, it's game on. A couple days after tropical, something comes through.
Yeah.
Yeah. 4 or 5 days after, boom, get out there.
So now when regular season starts, I mean, do you guys find yourselves like going gung-ho again? Or are you just like, oh, mini season, we got it out of our system and, you know, or you, generally speaking, or are you like back to like out, like looking for pelagics and stuff?
Well, it just depends on who's inviting me to do what. I'll probably dive with Chiefy a little more often because I know I'm coming home with 6 bugs, like pretty much guaranteed.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I want to go with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really.
More than happy to bring you along. We'll have to blindfold you and take your phone. Okay.
That's okay.
But no, just teasing. And what I've learned is, and I use Seymour mapping now, which is great. I mean, they really give you the topography of the reef, but you still need to know the spots. You know, like lobster.
Yeah, those Seymour maps are incredible.
It's incredible.
Yeah,
absolutely incredible. Yeah. And
so interesting just to look at them, just to see, like, wow, you know, they look beautiful.
Yeah.
Number one.
Yeah.
You know, but the information that they give you is impeccable.
It's still time underwater, as I tell people. You still need to know that that rock happens to be lobster rock, and that's got for some reason you'll see it on Seymour, but you don't know it's loaded all the time. So those are things just from years of experience. That's where your GPS marking. That's what Julie goes, hey, let's go.
Chiefy gets out 3, 4, 5 days a week. So all the time.
All the time.
So he has a pretty good idea of what's going on pretty much year round.
Oh, you're out that much. That's awesome.
What else am I going to do?
Well, he's
Dennis,
retired.
What else am I going to do?
You come hang out and drink rum at the bar with me.
I'm not allowed to drink rum.
No?
Okay, yeah. You know, rum is not allowed. If my wife is watching, I'm not allowed to drink rum.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So, okay. But it's always good to get out and dive a little bit.
Apparently beer is still okay.
Yeah, we have beer's okay.
Beer's okay?
Beer's okay.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Right. Beer's fine.
I tell people, just bring good beer.
Right.
And Julie doesn't drink, but she brings good beer.
I do.
Yeah. Red Stripe. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What was it? I used to watch that Sanford and Sons, and there was what was the neighbor? It was the neighbor who was whatever. Anyway, someone offered him wine, and he goes, "Wine is fine, but liquor is quicker." I can't remember the name of the movie. Anyway, that was a funny show.
No, there's a story about rum, and it's not good.
Fair enough.
It's all good,
but that's okay. Yeah. What's interesting is because Julie lives up in Fort Pierce, and we've done some lobster diving up there. It's totally different.
Right.
Totally.
So how's it
Yeah.
different than here?
Tell us.
So Fort Pierce generally is a little dirtier.
Yeah.
Colder.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Colder.
It can be. Yeah, I guess colder than here. Yeah,
Mhm.
it can be colder. We can have really bad thermoclimes, which can make it very cold. We have
Mhm.
thermoclimes pretty bad right now, actually.
Okay.
The reef is different. The lobster can get so much further up into those holes here.
There's really not any reefs there, okay?
Is it more?
it's
It's
more
more
it's a ledge.
Yeah, it's more
rocks and
ledgy.
ledges.
It's
yeah.
more ledgy.
Ledgy. Yeah.
But here, I mean, I try to use the snare, but if I have to, I can probably get elbow deep and get almost any lobster down here.
Right.
Okay.
But down there, I mean, I know people who bring broomsticks down just to get
Yeah.
towards the back of some of these holes.
They have those extended pool
Right.
things that they'll bring out and with a big old thing.
Mhm.
But their lobsters
Mm-hmm.
up there are huge.
Yeah, we definitely
Like
get
a pool bridge.
A pool, yeah.
Oh wow.
Like bring it out.
Yeah.
And then when you grab them, they're all two-handers. They're all huge, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so they're bigger up there.
Bigger. You
Yeah,
don't get
they
as
tend to
many.
be.
You don't get as many,
Right.
right?
Sometimes.
So,
unless you're Julie Higgs.
I got some friends with some spots.
Yeah.
Now you have some shallow stuff up there too, right?
Yeah, we frequently hit the beach. I have a 16-foot skiff, so
Mhm.
sometimes I'm limited to just the beach. And very rarely get limit on the beach, but we consistently do get them. And some of them are some of the biggest lobster I've ever got, or right in the beach, 10 feet of water. It's
Mhm.
crazy.
Excellent. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Nice.
And you have to remember, I mean, the Keys are where everyone goes for quote lobstering, you know.
Well, it's a lot easier. I think if you're in like 5 feet of water.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're just like kind of like just skimming along. Where you just grab a rope and get towed like from behind a boat really slow, and you're just like looking down. Like, I see
big
one.
old coral head, and you go down and catch them, right?
It always cracks me up. Everyone's like, we're going to the Keys for mini season.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can only get 6 a
You can
person
only get 6
for
right.
mini season there, and everywhere else in Florida you can get 12, but people love going to the Keys.
Yeah.
They love it.
Yeah, they make a big deal out of it. And I think, 90% of the lobsters are caught in the Keys,
Mm-hmm.
but most of that is from the commercial guys. We being the recreational guys, account for 20-something%.
Okay.
We normally harvest about 1.5 million pounds of
Recreationally
lobsters.
speaking?
Recreational guys.
Wow,
right?
that's a
which
lot.
Is a lot.
Wow,
right?
I had no idea it was that much.
1.5 million. But that's only 20-something% of the commercial guys are usually like 3.5 mil to 5 mil. So somewhere up in the 7 mil, 5 to 7 mil.
That's crazy
pounds.
to think about how many lobster that is.
Is that whole or tails?
No, that's whole.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
whole.
I thought it would
That's a
probably
good
be.
question.
Yeah.
No, that's a good question. But you want to put it in perspective.
Mhm.
Lobster, those ones in New England,
Right.
they harvest 140 million pounds.
Mm.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's absolutely
Yeah.
crazy.
And very rarely do you get them catching them with, diving.
Mhm.
It's mainly commercial guys up
Mhm.
there, this is a sport. And we're fortunate that here, the Keys, this area, you get to about Jupiter, then it kind of thins out, right?
There's less shallow reef
Yeah.
to hit in Jupiter, and a lot of big money boats going out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
That's
and,
true.
And there's no real lobstering on the West Coast. Right?
Yeah, Nick, how's the West Coast fare? Not at all, right? Yeah,
There-
Nick's originally from Tampa.
There are lobster over there.
There are.
I've
Yeah.
just been told that there's so much bottom for so far that
Yeah.
they're just spread out.
Okay.
It's how it's been explained to me. I personally have never seen one out there,
No, not really, huh?
but I know people find them.
Yeah. But same, like they're kind of like Fort Pierce, where they're bigger,
Mhm.
right? Because they've been out there
'Cause no
for a
one's
long
looking
time.
for 'em.
Yeah,
Here, what was your big lobster you got at Bugfest? How many pounds?
2.88 pounds.
Okay, so
2.88.
almost 3 pounds.
Which
Wow.
for this part of Florida
It's-
is kind of big,
it's
but
a nice
for
one.
Fort Pierce is kind of small.
It is.
You got to think about that, though. Someone's bragging.
No, I just said no. Most of the people in that tournament were
Yeah.
competing locally, and
It's crazy to think, though, when you throw that number around, right? How many million? You said 7?
7 million
Commercially.
pounds.
right?
The commercial guys are usually from 3.5 to 5 mil. That's what they're getting.
Okay.
We're doing about $1.5 million.
Right. And you took the biggest one, this 2.8 at almost 3 pounds.
3 pounds.
The biggest one.
Yeah.
It's a lot of lobster.
A lot of lobster.
Yeah.
Right.
And is that for the whole season?
The whole season.
That's the number for the whole season.
For the whole season.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And they really, the state of Florida does a really good job because, they're the ones that tell us that it's got to be 3 inches.
They're strict about it.
Tell me.
Yeah.
we won't tell you about that story, but yes. You go to certain places like in Hawaii,
right?
You can't even take females.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Doesn't matter whether they have eggs or not. You're not allowed to touch females.
Right. Well, Hawaii's historically just very strict. I think more strict than anyone anywhere, really. Usually, right? Like with a lot of their conservation laws.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and it's not as big of a fishery as it is here.
Right.
7 million pounds for Florida of spiny lobster is a pretty good fishery.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, we had the Chinese effect a couple, 3 or 4 years ago, where these guys were selling whole lobster alive to China, and they were making $12 to $15 a pound. That was big money. Big money. Now that kind of went away last couple of years. So that's, I think, why recreationally we're doing a little better the last couple of years, because the same guys that catch spiny lobsters in the Keys, if they're not making the money in spinies, then guess what they're going to catch? October 15th? Stone crabs.
Right,
till May 15th. So they're going to put their emphasis on that, and they're making big money on stone crabs. They really they're making some good money.
I wanted to ask you too, like both of you guys, like have you noticed an uptick in the amount of lobster hunters, like in the last 5 years? I mean, given the fact that with the COVID boat numbers going up and more people on the water and trying to live that Florida life and everything like that, have you noticed an uptick in people going down?
I think it's hard to say because mini season is where you see the big number of boats, and we had such bad weather this year. It really
that's a good point. Yeah,
really stopped a lot of people from going out.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, there's definitely record sales for boats and motors and all of that things with COVID. So I'm sure a lot of people are going out for mini season.
When I wrote my book, Catching the Bug, the first edition, 10 years ago, what I didn't realize is I have a continual flow of new people that are interested in learning how to catch spiny lobster.
Good.
And that's a good thing.
Sure.
Okay. So I have a source of, saying, hey, you want to buy a book? This is how you do it. We teach you how to find the lobster, catch the lobster, and eat the lobster. So, I mean, we got it all covered, Dennis, So, Catching the Bug, now we're on the second edition. So what I've been seeing more is families are going out there. So it's mom, dad, and the kids. And I love it.
I love seeing that.
I love it. I love the kids that are out there catching lobster and everything. Chucky, one of my all-time great Chiefy crew member, his granddaughter, Reagan, just got certified, and she's going to come with us on Saturday.
Very cool.
Opening day.
And he's so proud.
Cool. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Every time he sees me, you can't wait till you meet my granddaughter.
I know. It's so great, and that's personally what this is all about. I love the fact that we're passing it on. Listen, Julie, without Julie's dad, right? Teaching her how to swim and spearfish and catch lobster in the Bahamas.
Right.
That's the person you've become.
I love it. I mean, exactly. That's a perfect example. I love seeing the pictures of all the kids holding the bugs up and their parents passing on that tradition to them year over year. And it very much does become, a family thing, a friend thing, a camaraderie thing. Hey, we're going to do that again next year. You know what I mean? It really is a festive situation.
Yep.
Always so great to see everyone coming out in droves. And, because the bottom line is, like you said earlier, Florida is doing it right with how they're organizing the entire season.
We actually have scientists that, measure all that stuff, that figure all that stuff out. They primarily control it through the commercial guys, because the commercial guys have to report how many they catch and where they sell them to and all that stuff. They kind of leave the recreational guys to the honor system. And I don't know about you, but yeah.
I don't know.
You know,
had some run-ins in the past. You know what I mean? I passed with flying colors, but we've had some run-ins.
No, and you know what? It just help, and they factor all that in. You know what I mean? So from our standpoint, that's how they regulate it through the commercial guys, and the commercial guys. That's how they really sustain the fishery, and that's a good thing. And they make sure, you know, listen, it's been 3 inches, right? The carapace forever. You go to the Bahamas, it's a little bit more. In the Bahamas, how do they regulate it? You can't catch your lobster on scuba. You can only free dive.
Only free dive. Yeah, they're all about the sling thing over there too, right? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So every place has different regulations and all, but it's fun. You know,
I always kind of listen in my heart. I always kind of just consider the Bahamas an extension of South Florida. You know, it really is. Like it really is. It's like Keys and then Keys on steroids out there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you know, I always kind of consider that. And I know it's under like the British flag technically, but it's still kind of like a part of us. I always look at it that way. But is there another region in the world that kind of does it like this?
With lobster?
Yeah, with the way we handle the season and with lobstering, and like they don't do this in other countries, do they? Like we're the only part of the United States that really does it like this, right?
California.
Okay. Oh yeah, they do have a lobster.
They do have a lobster season like this.
Southern California.
Okay.
They do like a mini season type of thing.
Okay.
And now the difference is you have to catch them by hand.
Oh, really?
Over there, yeah. You're not allowed to. I think you can use a tickle stick, but you can't use a net.
Can't net them. Can't
net them or snare them.
Yeah.
So, and they have spinies over there, even though it's colder water.
Right.
That's what I tell people. You know, hey, spiny lobster. That's all over the world. You know, Mediterranean, California, Hawaii, all spinies. There's 30 different varieties, but they're all spinies. So. California has a regulated industry. Excuse me. One of the things, though, is as a recreational guy, you have to fill out a card that says, hey, I caught 5 spiny lobster on this day in this location, and you have to submit it.
Okay. And then that's it.
That's it.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Have you ever been diving out there in California?
I have, yes. Have you?
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah,
Too cold.
It's cold water, right?
Way cold.
It is cold, and I didn't realize how cold. I went out there before I had proper gear. I think I just tried to double up 2 like surf wetsuits because that's all I had at the time, and I had no hood. And
no hood.
We were diving at night on jetties, and
were you catching lobster out there?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
really?
luckily, my friend had an extra hood that I was able to like tuck into my wetsuits, and I could hardly move, and I was wearing so much weight. It definitely upgraded my gear after that trip.
But they have these big boulders, and you reach inside and you grab them, right?
So at night, they actually run from your light, so you'd kind of use your light to get them to go where you wanted them to, and then you would just grab them. Yeah.
Grab them by hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you diving through kelp forests and all that stuff there, or is it?
Not for the lobster, but I did do some diving in the kelp there. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. How was that?
Pretty eerie.
Yeah, I would think. Like I always look at that, and I was like, I don't know if I could ever do that. I mean, you don't know what's lurking right around the other side.
It is beautiful, but if you're not used to it, there's seals swimming all around. You don't know if there's something hunting the seals. They're smarter.
They have
and
big
faster.
Sharks over there. Big sharks.
They're smarter and faster than you. They're so agile. The seals themselves are a little spooky because you're swimming around with fish and you don't know if they're going to try to take them from you. You come up, stick your head above the water. All the seals come up, they stick their head above the water. It's definitely a unique experience.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
But they have a pretty strong like spearfishing community out in Southern California. It's
it was a lot of fun.
I'd imagine like though spearfishing through all those kelp forests and stuff that'd be kind of weird. Yeah.
I really did enjoy the experience, but it definitely was a little eerie.
Were you
around.
free diving over there or tank diving?
We were free diving.
Free diving.
Yes.
Whoa.
And we did a charter that took us to the Coronado Islands. That was fun.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Mhm.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I've never actually been out to Southern California. I've been to Northern California like 6 times for whatever reason, but yeah, I've never actually been to Southern California. So that's why I usually have so many questions about it. But I always think it's interesting, though. I always think it's interesting that their water is so cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we have the Gulf Stream here.
Yeah.
We're so lucky.
for sure. But yeah, we're incredibly lucky, which always makes me always so fortunate that, like, you know, to point out all the time. Like you even mentioned, you know, about, you know, earlier you mentioned that, what was it, something about with the spiny lobster and having this region. I can't think of what you said before, but about this being such a unique place for it.
What's I think so unique about right here is literally I can walk off the white sandy beaches into the ocean,
right,
and catch spiny lobster. You know, I
yeah.
mean,
100%.
Like,
I mean, if you really look at it for everything it's worth, I mean, you can sit there and technically catch a blue marlin or sailfish, and you come inshore and catch a snook or a tarpon and then hook up with a bass like all in the same day. And
we've
like,
done
where else can you do that?
Right. We've done all of that, and it's so exciting, you know, to be able to and all within, like, you can see the ocean. I mean, you can see the beach, you can see the land. You know, it's not like we're 70 miles offshore.
100%. Yeah,
Right.
we were just up in New Jersey for the Jimmy Johnson tournament. That's where we were for 3 weeks. And all these guys are running 60 miles out, but the fishing wasn't really that great, and the weather really wasn't that great. So some of these guys are running like 100 miles.
Oh.
And I'm like, are you kidding me? We're hitting land if we run out 100 miles.
Yeah, we're gonna hit that.
Yeah, we're gonna run right into the other beach, the other part of South Florida.
That's okay.
Yeah,
we're all right with that. We like.
But no, I mean, it's really. I mean, I tell
So
people
unique.
that all the time. I'm like, man, we're fishing. We're really. I feel like I can just swim to shore if I get, you know, if we need to.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have as big a fish, right? That, like, Fort Pierce has some big fish. Dry Tortugas has some big fish, you know. But we get our fair share. I mean, this. By the way, I forgot to mention that the second day, which was Thursday on our opening day, we always bring our spear guns on the second day. Don't bring them on the first day because we don't. We're like focused on getting our limit. Okay, I know. I know.
I disagree.
I hear you.
Mini season spooks some fish out of some places. You'll never know what you're going to see.
And you're absolutely correct.
The second you don't have a spear, you're going to regret it.
It's always that way. It's always that way, right?
So,
but the second day we brought out spear guns, 2 hawkfish, 2 muttons, a red grouper, and a Cero mackerel. So we
Cero.
okay.
Did you see anything the first day you would have shot?
Says now he's lying.
Yeah, hog. Oh yeah. Actually, the lionfish have been pretty thick.
Oh, have they?
In shallower, which is yeah. And I don't usually bring my lionfish stuff.
Right.
I will now. You know, I multitask.
It's a lot of stuff to carry.
It is. I multitask. Spear gun.
Take me through the process of catching a lionfish.
I have a
like I said, I really haven't been diving in years, in a long time. So I'm curious about that.
So you do the lionfish thing too, right? I mean,
So lionfish obviously have spines all over them.
Yeah, you have to be careful.
So you have to
13
bring
at the top, 5 on the bottom.
You have to bring more equipment to safely carry them. A lot of people use a zookeeper to store them in. Chiefy actually cuts the spines underwater. So
it depends. Like if I'm purposely harvesting lionfish, I bring my zookeeper. Right. I don't want to.
Yeah, it takes time.
It takes time.
Right.
It takes time. And the good part is with lobster season coming, we will see lionfish with lobster in the same terrain. They like the same stuff in the reef. So I'll have my, I have a pole spear, a smaller one. I don't use my big gun. Do you don't use your big gun?
It depends. If we're going after lionfish, especially commercially, and we know we're going to be shooting a lot of them, then you bring a lionfish pole spear. It's just more effective, takes less time, it's safer.
Okay, what makes it different?
For one, it's smaller. Because you don't need much power because the fish doesn't typically run from you.
Right.
Normally holds pretty still.
Yeah, mine has a 3.
Yep.
Yours a 3 or a
Mhm.
5?
I got 3.
Yeah,
3-prong.
3-prong, and it's like a paralyzer,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a smaller one. It's just powered by a band, one band.
Okay.
Pull it back. It's a pole spear, essentially, and you just whack them.
Right, and it takes 1 second to hit them and another second to stick it in the zookeeper, and it's just a 3-prong. So when you stick it in the zookeeper and you pull it out, the fish stays in the zookeeper, and you have your spear free and clear. Whereas if you're shooting them with a gun, then you have to grab the fish, either take off your tip
and
or
it's spinning around because you're
right.
You're more apt to get
the zookeeper and the pole spear make it more of a hands free. You don't have to handle the fish.
Okay.
Which is safer and faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we'll trim them back on the boat, but then it's a controlled, environment, so to speak, down there.
Right.
And I'll do that. I see a big one, and I'll whack them, and then I trim them under the water. It's just more likely that I might get stung, and I really don't want to do that. I've been stung a couple, 3 times now.
You have been.
Yeah. But
Not fun, I'm assuming.
it hurts a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you got to pay attention, right? Because and I've gone to the Charlie Schramm school of how to trim them. So there's 13 on the top and 5 underneath, and those pectoral ones on the side that make them called lionfish. There's nothing bad on there. There's no spines there, and even the tail has no spines. But
the bottom has also
the top and the bottom, right? Yeah.
Okay.
They have 3 at the anal and 2, one on each side underneath.
Gotcha.
And you got to trim that up. So they're like a sheath with a needle. And you can actually see it. That's where they keep their poison. And literally, they can just touch you,
and it's on,
and you're getting it. Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, it's not going to kill you. That's the good part. It's not poisonous.
Right.
But it'll hurt.
Yeah.
It'll hurt a little bit.
Not a fun party, though.
No.
Yeah.
Have you been stung yet?
I have, but they've all been minor stings. And depending on where you get hit and how deep you get hit, it makes a huge difference. I've had very minor pokes. But I know a lot of people who've been stuck pretty good, and their whole hand swells up.
Swell up and everything. So,
very painful.
Like I said, it won't kill you.
Right.
But it definitely will hurt. So, but the process, I'll, multitasking. So, we'll have the bag for the lobster. I'll have my snare. I have my spear gun, and I have my smaller spear for the lionfish, and my zookeeper.
And a flashlight.
I got a lot
and
of
an
stuff.
extra
all
band.
that down with
A
you?
lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
You try to keep it all clipped off, but
Yeah.
luckily the water's so clean down here, you can set things down and manage them pretty well. But it's a lot.
And the zookeepers are they're made here now on this coast. The gentleman that invented them, Ali, was on the West Coast, but the gentleman
Ali Husseini?
Yeah, Ali
From Bloody Decks?
No,
BD Outdoors? No,
I
they don't think of it.
No, it was sort of a side thing that he decided, and he invented it. He sold the rights then to Tim Robinson, that they own Zookeeper now, and they build them right here in Sunrise.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah, local.
Oh, that's cool.
What's cool about it is he's expanded the whole thing, and I think he'll have better reach into the Caribbean and the Bahamas, which will be really good. But Ali was a big supporter, and so are they. As far as promoting removing the lionfish, so all good.
Yeah, nice.
And they taste delicious.
You cook them?
Oh, I eat them raw.
No, you don't.
I swear to God, I eat them raw.
They're known to be a very good ceviche fish.
Really?
And it is one of the whiter.
Oh, and Yanni's over there nodding.
Oh, yeah.
Yanni's.
It's a pure white fillet.
Yeah, it's a very white.
Pure white fillet, no bloodline.
Well, next time you come in, you got to bring that one.
Oh, see, he wasn't
we could
happy.
do that.
See, I'm
what
trying to
happens?
give you
See how
all
this
these
works?
things to do when you're out diving, and then you're like, oh, I don't know
It's
what
an
else to do with
excuse
my
to see
time.
each
You
other.
can bring me food.
Okay, it's not a problem. What we'll do is the little trick I have is on lionfish, I just cut it on a bias. So you make it really thin and dip it in a little soy sauce and just chow away.
That's it.
Awesome.
As long as you remove the spiny things, you're all set.
Yeah, the meat itself is fine. As a matter of fact,
It's not like a puffer fish where you got to be like
correct,
scientifically certified.
And there are some restaurants that cook them whole with the spines, and they fry them. And awesome presentation. I mean, really, when you look at these things, you go, wow. After that, they're fine. You know, they take the spines and I think use them for jewelry, and
they think they cut the very tip of the spine off, but yeah, they leave the majority of the spine.
Yeah. So I mean, it's actually a pretty cool. We'll have to bring it next time. Next time.
Yeah,
it'll be a big lionfish,
nice,
cooked whole.
And when you go up there in Fort Pierce,
right,
they're everywhere, and they're big,
right.
That's just at the 90-foot stuff.
Yeah. Deeper, yeah.
Because they're not hard. There's not a lot of divers up there.
Depends. Commercial guys come through from time to time.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. You can tell when you're on a spot that's been hit.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, you'll like it. I think Whole Foods sells them.
I've heard that.
Lionfish. And there's actually a lionfish restaurant in Delray. So
right.
It's it's getting more and more popular, and that's how we're gonna get rid of them.
Right.
Commercial guys will harvest them because you don't catch them by hook and line. You spear them.
Yeah, you got to go down by hand.
Right. Exactly. So
that's why I was saying earlier when you're like taking all that equipment down, I'm like, I'm not used to that. I'm one of those guys that gets dragged behind the boat in the keys.
Tank, we go down.
Yeah.
We got it all figured out. I have a place for everything, and everything has its place, so to speak. Learn that in the fire service.
Just have lots of clips.
Yeah, a lot of clips.
Clips everything.
Double stainless steel.
The last
clips.
thing you need.
You take me as being highly organized.
Yeah. Sort of.
Let me ask you a question, though. Probably the most important question I could ask you today.
Oh, geez.
How proud are you of this one?
Julie?
Yes.
Fantastic. Great.
Isn't she amazing?
Yeah. And it's funny because the sad news is I actually met her boyfriend first. Okay. That's how I got introduced to Julie. So she has made a few mistakes in her life. You know what I mean?
If it makes you feel any better, I told him I'm stealing all of his friends and all of his sponsors.
Good. I love it. He's old news, I've known Richie for many years, and then got introduced to Julie, and I love diving with Julie. She's great. You don't have to worry about her. And I tell you, it's nice having a free diver on the boat, right? Steve's a free diver. And so we'll hit at certain times of the year, we'll just hit some of the shallow stuff.
Yeah.
Boom. They're like scout. They'll catch it.
Like you're in the Keys.
Right. Exactly. Right. 10 feet.
Yep.
And at that point, okay. Then we decide what we're going to do. So,
real quick. Are they there? Are they not? You slip in, slip out. You don't have to worry about putting on all your gear and then getting back in the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we've found it where they're there.
I know. Remember that? Oh,
yeah, I think we limited out pretty much on that spot. He has this real shallow spot close to shore, and Julie, jump in real quick and let me know if they're there. Sometimes when they're there, they're there.
Yeah.
Right.
Little honey hole, we call it,
Okay.
Yep. And it's, I don't know, 200 feet from the beach.
Yeah. I got a video on it. It was a good day.
Yeah, it was a really good day.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So, and they were loaded up pretty well there. But that's certain times of the year, that you'll see that. I think come Saturday, they'll be in shallow still.
Nice.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With all the wind and weather and the currents.
I don't think they got really hit hard.
Yeah.
To be honest, we did okay, but I think there's going to be plenty of lobster this year. So, and that's how we knew we were going to have a good year this year, mini season, because last year we were catching lobster. When we could get out, we were catching lobster every day. We're getting our limit every day. So that's good.
Yeah, that's good. You know what else is good?
What?
The fact that this one's going to be representing the United States.
How cool is that?
In Spain.
This one gets lost talking about lobster.
No, that's what it's all good. We're talking about everything.
Absolutely.
But I just want to kind of reiterate and make the point to those watching and listening that you're going to need some support here.
Yeah.
right? And so there's ways to support you in your endeavor, which is a really important endeavor. And Connected by Water is going to be 100% behind it in a lot of ways that were still to be discussed and all that, right? But 100% will. But how can, let's say you're someone just listening to this wants to be in full support, because a lot of people don't realize that, like, especially in the beginning, this is all coming out of your pocket.
Yeah.
Right. And it's all you paying for it on your own. And it's purely driven by passion. Right. And that's to be admired, especially for someone doing it at the level at which you're doing it.
Right.
Right. So how can people, where do they go there? You said there's a GoFundMe, and there's different raffles that we're going to be setting up and doing for you. And so take me through some of that stuff.
So quickest, easiest way to help us is the GoFundMe. And that is tax write-off, all that good stuff.
Yep.
We are collecting different things to raffle off, whatever anybody's willing to donate, really. And we have until September 2023, so we have time.
Okay.
So any of these products that are donated, we're going to host several events for fundraising, either fish cook-offs or just, I work for the fire department. I'm going to try to get the department together and do a raffle and a big dinner and just, our family serving yours.
Yeah.
Type thing. And probably 2-3 big events like that. And hopefully, we'll get recognition for the people that donate their products, and we'll raise a little bit of money and have a good time.
Okay.
Do you have, and I think it was Salt Life is still a big sponsor of you guys?
Yeah, they have sponsored us for the last few years, and they provide uniforms for us. And we should be coming out with a shirt that they'll get a percentage of the shirt, and we sell it, and that raises money for the team. And
okay, cool.
Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah, but I think we're looking to try to get some of the big boys, on board. This is the female team.
No, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. That's why I want to bring it up.
And
it's a big deal.
And not a lot of people know that this is a competition, right?
Well, and we're competing against other countries that get government funding.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is a huge deal.
Of all the things that we give government funding for, we don't give government funding for this? Come on.
I know.
Seriously?
In other countries...
Who do I talk to around here?
Other countries get a whole budget for this. They go a year in advance to Spain, and they go on a spearfishing trip. And they see a year in advance of the tournament, what are the fish doing? What depth are they? What's the water temp? What gear are they going to need? Oh, yeah. This is a big deal.
And Europe has a lot of different teams.
Yeah.
They're serious because they do a lot of free diving over there.
There will be over 20 countries competing in this tournament, and they have the funds, and we're trying to raise our funds to compete with them.
So you have to do it independently.
Yes.
It's frustrating. But you know what? Not insurmountable, right? Because we've pitched in before, and we can pitch in again. We're going to try to get the word out, and
that's why we're getting such an early start.
Let's run this dog, right?
I love it.
Yeah, for sure. And then, so, are you nervous, excited?
I'm really excited because we have a really strong team, and we have a good history. 2018, the first year that women ever competed in Worlds, they got first, and that was a huge deal. And 2021, they competed in Italy, and they got second, which is still pretty good. So this year, we have a really strong team. We all get along really well, and we're really excited to go. And I think knowing the girls on the team, the elements we're going to have to be dealing with, we're going to do really well.
All right. Also, you were mentioning all this. Europe's got a lot of good teams. I was going to say, but they don't have Julie Higgs.
It's true.
She's a killing machine.
Yes.
She's a fish killing machine.
So is there a large boundary out there in Spain for this? Or is it a small boundary? Do they keep it confined to a small area?
I don't know.
We're
pretty far in advance.
Okay.
And I'm sure that people can look up tournaments in the past and kind of see what the boundaries were and get a pretty good idea. But personally, I'm not sure yet.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, before you get there, I'm sure you'll be on the show again and talking more about it. And, everyone stay tuned on this one because we're going to be continuing to promote it and raise awareness for everything that you got going on. And at the very least, through our social channels and all that. So, we're going to be stirring up some noise about it. So
and we appreciate it.
As we should be, as everyone should be. So, because we want to make sure that you have everything you need and get you to where you're going and the way you need to get there and all that. So very cool. Thank you guys again for coming in.
Thank you.
It's a blast.
Yeah. I mean, it's always such a pleasure, like, just hanging out with you guys.
Yeah.
You know, taking it easy, you know.
I do miss Steve Siegel.
Yeah, you know.
You know?
Well,
he was hidden behind the
he
bar
was a nice
last
fixture
time,
over there.
and he actually had, you mic'd him up so he could actually, you know, from
Yeah,
the
he said
peanut
a thing or
gallery.
two.
So, you know, we have to say hi to Steve,
Yeah.
but he's not here.
Yeah.
So, you
Hi,
know.
Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Yeah. Steve's such a good guy. Yeah.
Great guy.
I want to bring up our Starbright program, which I failed to do that at the beginning of the episode. Nick's over there,
Wow.
like, looking at me, nodding, like, "Yep, you forgot, dummy."
Starbright, huh?
What's that?
Starbright?
Yeah, last episode too. All right, you know what we need to do? We just need to do a commercial and just, like, insert it right at the beginning of every one, I think, to where we're looking for you to nominate. Doing a program with Starbright and Derek and Corey Redwine up there in the Merritt Island area, where they are stewards and champions of the coastline, and they plant mangroves. They have for like the last 20 years. Been doing it forever before it was a cool thing. And they've teamed up with Starbright and us to reward do-gooders in the area. So we're looking for nominations. So it's very cool, actually, if I tell you this, and you get the word out to the Chiefy crew, maybe they can do something like that. So we're giving away buckets full of Starbright products, and it's like over $200 worth of stuff in that bucket.
I love it.
Just for someone nominating a do-gooder, and say if they qualify and we feel like they're the do-gooder of the week, then
And it's
then we're gonna
the eco-friendly types.
It is, yeah. It is. Oh, it's all eco-friendly.
It's all
except
eco
for
stuff.
the fuel treatment. That's the only one. But even then, I think, you never know, it might be. But I know they're big on it.
And the nomination, who we would nominate,
Right.
is-
So you could go Corey Redwine's Instagram. It's very easy to nominate someone. It's at C Redwine, SEA Redwine. Right. You can go to at Dennis Friel Art, at Connected by Water, or at Starbright _com. Right. And all you got to do is just tag someone in your story if you do a post about it or something like that, and then just say, hey, we want to nominate this person for a do-good, or they got this beach cleanup together, or they're continually going on their boat every Saturday and just skimming the coastline in their local area or something like that. So
cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we're looking for do-gooders.
I know a do-gooder who picks up anchors off the bottom on the regular.
Well, I sell them though. That's
but you're still bringing them up.
But here's what I do is I make it a point to get all the Bud Light beer cans that I can, and there's a ton of them down there.
And they all come from Nick.
And they all come from these fishing guys that drink Bud Light. You know,
right?
What I mean? So
it fills the empty spaces in your lobster net.
Nick feels like he could drink Bud Light forever, right?
And that's why they drink it. You know?
He could just keep going and never get drunk.
And it's funny because the guys know, don't bring Bud Light on my boat. You know what I mean? No. Yeah. So I want good beer, okay?
We'll make sure never to approach Bud Light as a sponsor.
Red Stripe.
That's all right. We got the best in the business right here with Papa's Pilar,
no doubt,
which we've been drinking here. Or at least I have. So, So listen, thank you guys so much. Julie, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Right? And I don't need to wish you luck. Right? You got this. I'm confident.
Yeah.
So we're Connected by Water is going to be there to support you in every way. And then we're going to get the word out and even more. So, all right, cool.
Love it.
All right.
So Julie Higgs, Jim Chiefy Matthew.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much for giving us your time once again. If you're in the market for a new truck, Jeep, family vehicle, go ahead and call your buddies over there at Joey Cardi Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. They will hook you up, and especially if you tell them that you listened to this podcast and heard about this little ad at the end and said, hey, they told me to come here, you'll give me a good deal. You're going to get a better deal than anybody else will. I promise you that. They might not promise you that, but I promise you that. Right? But anyway, also, we've been drinking Papa's Pilar rum. Remind you never to be a spectator. We've got a lot of good things. I just want to bring this up real quick. Papa's Pilar is becoming quite the champion for the reef restoration.
It is.
Yeah, and so we've got a lot of really cool programs coming up, and a lot of good things, some collaborations that they're going to be doing with some organizations. I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about it yet because things haven't been officially announced yet, but I can at least talk about the good that they're doing to save the reefs and the upcoming news that's going to be announced and stuff like that. So, and it's significant, what they're doing. And makes me even prouder to be associated with this great company. We want to tell everyone that if you're hungry, if you can't make it over to Chiefy's house at the end of the day for some lobster and lionfish,
Papa's Raw Bar.
Go to Papa's Raw Bar, right?
Absolutely.
And order something off the Connected by Water inspired sushi menu. They got lots of tons of good stuff on there.
Really
and,
good. Fresh fish.
Proud to be associated with those guys, that's for sure. Starbright, go ahead. Nominated do-gooder. Okay. Am I forgetting anyone else? No. All right. Your ego, it's not your amigo. Always do your best. At the end of the day, just let God do the rest, and do not ever forget that no matter where we are, no matter what we're doing, we're all connected by water.
No doubt.
All right.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. I did hear the rum is very good.